We begin tonight with the devastating cost of a con job to sell desperate people false hope. A fraud that one Ontario mother says had fatal consequences, the suicide of her daughter. Kate Evans struggled with mental illness. Her mom believed a service dog would help. They turned to a business in the U.S. only to receive an untrained, aggressive imposter. CTV's national affairs correspondent Omar Sachedina on the crushing blow and the growing scam.
I don't want her death to be in vain.
Nancy Evans is preparing for what will be the most difficult day of her life on Sunday. That's when she'll bury her 19-year-old daughter.
I could hear sirens coming, and I said, Katie, Katie, wake up, it's Mom, wake up, wake up.
Katie, who for years has battled PTSD, severe anxiety, and depression, had jumped 20 floors the day after New Year's.
If Katie had received a specially trained service dog to mitigate her disabilities with the service dog tasks we had been promised and we paid a lot of money for, I don't think she would have taken her own life.
Mark Mathis, who owns a dog training company in North Carolina, charged Evans, a single mother, almost $15,000 US for what he claimed was a service dog. But when Bailey came to Canada, turns out the dog wasn't even house trained.
She charged up the stairs. She ferociously barked and growled. She thought that my son, I don't know, was an intruder.
Behavior so aggressive, Katie had to give Bailey away weeks before she took her life.
It had been her dream for over a year to have this dog, and she was just completely devastated.
Clients in Mattis's home state also say they've been deceived.
He is a very smooth talker.
Rachel Cummings got a dog for her 11-year-old daughter, Sobi, who has autism, and is also out about $14,000 US.
It was apparent to us that the dog was not following even basic instructions like sitting or laying down on a first command or even second or third.
Special needs families, we're so vulnerable, and we need extra people giving us extra help, not scamming us.
Evans says she had to turn to the U.S. because wait lists for PTSD service dogs in Canada were too long.
It's a newer type of service dog that's out there, and there's very few schools that are able to train it right now.
CTV News reached out to Mark Mathis, but he had no comment for this story. The North Carolina Department of Justice says it has received 41 complaints, Lisa, against him and his company.
41 other families. This is just such an abuse. Do those families have any recourse, Omar?
Well, the county sheriff's office has opened up a criminal investigation, and the North Carolina Department of Justice is preparing to launch a civil lawsuit. They want to get an injunction to block Mathis from ever opening up this type of business again. But Lisa, here's the thing. He has filed for bankruptcy and is only prepared to pay about $300 a month, meaning it's very unlikely that these families will see any of their money back. And what is so heartbreaking is that these families don't have a lot to begin with. In Nancy's case, for example, she doesn't even have enough money for her own daughter's funeral on Sunday. Fortunately, though, the community is stepping in with a social media fundraiser.
Wow, how devastating. All right, Omar, thanks for this tonight. We have a lot more on this scam from Katie's mother and other families who've come forward to share their stories. That's all at ctvnews.ca.